There's so much information with back-to-school plans that not everyone agrees on. Mask requirements, social distancing. We've heard from experts about what needs to happen. The state's made decisions that's upset some families. But the students, they're the ones who actually have to go to school and follow those protocols. And we've yet to hear from many of them until tonight. Elenee talks with a group of kids to hear about their concerns and thoughts about all the COVID protocols.
It's been a roller coaster of a year for many of us. Students, they've been pushed and pulled around too. From learning at home, then a hybrid schedule, and then some in person 5 days a week. A lot has changed for them, socially, physically, and emotionally. Tonight, 7 students lay it all out for me about what it's really like growing up and going through school during a pandemic. Remember what it's like going to school? Then imagine what it's like during a pandemic.
I just wish everything was back to normal.
It's been a year and a half since they've seen normal. What do you guys all think about the masks?
I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
Because I'm really tired of have to be 6 feet apart and wearing masks.
It's just a necessary evil.
I think it's frustrating to have to be wearing them in general, but I think we can understand why.
When friends or classmates don't follow the mask requirement, it's another thing they have to navigate.
I definitely think it's frustrating to see my friends not wanting to wear masks, but I also do understand where they're coming from. As freshmen and always having to socially distance, it makes it a little bit harder to find new friends at a new school.
They tell me making friends has been tough during COVID. Social distancing, the masks, or especially when they all had to learn from home. They're afraid that could happen again.
It definitely worries me to see cases rise and to think of what it was like to be stuck in my house all day staring at a computer screen. Yeah, it's that isolation and that lack of social interaction that is required when there's cases at that degree. It's sad.
This year, though, they're back together in class 5 days a week.
I think it'll be nicer because last year it was a little frustrating because I got separated from some of my friends because they got put on other days because I was A group and a lot of them were B group.
They're just happy to be going back full time.
I'm more nervous, but I'm also really excited because I want to make new friends and stuff.
School felt eerie. It felt hollow to the point where the lack of peers and the lack of a full student body made me feel as if I wasn't actually learning to the full extent I should be.
So you guys all felt like you didn't learn as much the last year and a half?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's terrifying.
They're worried about their education, but they are hoping to learn a lot more next year, being back 5 days a week.
My goal for next year is to become a better reader.
And for the older students,
we're all just trying to hope that we can get a prom in, a homecoming, groovy shoes before we have to leave.
Many of them tell me they've learned a lot in other aspects of life during the pandemic. They're ready to take on the next school year.
But I think a grounding thought has been we're all going through it. Everyone in the world is going through exactly what we're going through, and so remembering that people will be lenient and students are just doing the best they can is really important.
Our conversation went on for more than 20 minutes, and there's a lot more than we showed. We also talked about social distancing and their thoughts on what they're seeing online regarding how divisive people are about masks. You can watch the full interview on KXLY.com. In studio tonight, I'm Elenee, 4 News Now.